I prefer low scoring.
Low.
Low, mainly because I have much more success in lower scoring events.
If I'm striking as much as everybody else, high scoring is totally fine. Otherwise, as low as possible.
I think around the world, I like them a little harder. I like striking just as much as the next guy, but I feel like the harder the lanes are, the more that it benefits me.
I like to grind out. I don't like having to feel like I have to shoot 250 every game to stay even with everybody. So averaging 230 and you shoot 140 is not great, but when you're averaging 2-0, becomes a whole different story.
I prefer lower scoring environments because it plays to my strengths. I tend to focus a lot more on accuracy versus power.
I prefer low, obviously, because I'm a little bit better at controlling the pocket when the scores are harder and figuring it out. When the scores are wide open, I feel like it's anyone's game, and at that point it's just the first one to get matched up and get left.
I prefer lower scoring just because I feel like the cream kind of rises to the top in those events. It's not as necessary for carry to become an issue or anything like that, so I think the better shot maker that week ends up winning.
I think high scoring events have its place. Out with the best in the world, you don't have to make the conditions that easy for us to score high, so trying to make it a little bit harder, kind of relate that to other sports as well, let the best come through in the tougher conditions.
I prefer the lower scoring, spare shooting, shot making, that makes the most sense to me. The high scores, one person's always going to destroy it, but if the general field is grinding, that's a good tournament to me.
The reason why a lot of guys prefer maybe lower scoring is it eliminates a little bit of the luck factor. The lanes have nothing to do with your shot making, and spare shooting, again, lanes have nothing to do with your spare shooting.
Higher scoring events are actually harder to win. I mean, it's hard to strike that much for that period of time. In a low scoring event, you can get away with some 190s and then pop off a game and feel like you're in the run. So I prefer low scoring, but I'm gonna bowl either way.
Preferably medium to low scoring is my preferred pace. I know I've done well in some of the higher scoring events.
I prefer medium. I'm not a very big fan of carry contests, but I'm also not a very good grinder. So I like something that's in the middle.
Low scoring is always good, but so is just to be able to string some strikes and entertain the public and have some fun with it. I think a little bit of everything.
It's probably better for me if they're lower scoring, but I think there should be, over the course of a season, there should be a mix. It takes different skill sets. If you need to average 250, you need to do different things, and your brain needs to think different thoughts than if you're trying to average 205.
I prefer higher scoring conditions at National Tour events. I don't mind a grind every now and then, but if they're a little softer, I feel like I can take an advantage with my rev rate and power a little bit. So, some of the older players may not really like the higher scoring, but hey, I'm young, I'm two-handed, so let me let the big dog eat a little bit on the higher scoring conditions.
I don't want to say I prefer high scoring, but I definitely would rather have high scoring over low scoring. Obviously, something in the middle is preferable, but I just think that sometimes the low scoring patterns bring a little bit of luck into play. If they're that hard that it's hard to double and some guy throws a Brooklyn at you for a three-bagger and you've gone strike, 4-9 strike, it's almost an insurmountable amount that you can't make it up. So if I had to choose, I would choose high scoring because I think it takes a little bit of the luck out of it. But too high scoring is not good either, so I definitely like something in the middle.
The scoring pace doesn't really matter all that much to me. I've had success in low scoring, high scoring, middle of the road. It's just about, knocking over the most pins, not to be cliche, and it's, you just have to beat the other guys, and it's my job to figure out which way is the best for that particular event. So I don't really have too much of a preference.